At taping time, one of the chefs at the Big Boundary restaurant in Nashville was Michael Cribb. A native of Music City, he graduated with a graphic arts degree, then shifted to culinary arts. He worked in Virginia and on St. Thomas in the Virgin Islands. For a starter, he prepares hot grouper cheeks.
First step of this dish is to make the marinade. We want to get our pan hot. We add just a little oil for the sauteing. Then we're going to add the shallots, ginger, garlic. We want to cook that over medium-high heat until we start to brown. About 3 minutes on that. Once we get our ingredients sauteed, then we're going to add our coconut milk, which also has our Worcestershire and soy. We just want to bring this to a boil. What we're doing is we're releasing the flavors of the sauteed items, which allows you to be able to marinate at a less time, but still get all the flavor. Now we're going to add molasses, which is a nice sweetener. And all we want to do is bring this to a boil. Once we bring it to a boil, at that time we want to take it off. We're going to let it cool completely before you put the fish in. We're going to take the grouper cheeks after our marinade has now come to a complete cool, and we'll put them in the marinade. We're going to leave them in the marinade overnight. Now we're going to make the Chow Chow, which is going to go accompany the grouper cheeks. And in our bowl we're going to put our carrots, cucumber, pineapple. As you notice, I'm using vegetables and fruit. I like the combination. Garlic, diced red onion, cilantro. These are ground smoked Tennessee grown Scotch bonnet peppers, salt and pepper to taste. You can add more Scotch bonnets or you can add less, depending upon how much heat you can handle. Then we take apple cider vinegar, and then we're just going to pour it right over the top of everything else.
The vinegar was brought to a boil.
We want to mix everything together very well. And it's good to make this a day ahead of time. Now that we've marinated our cheeks overnight, and the grouper cheeks themselves, I use a black grouper because usually you can get the larger fish, and they actually cut the meat right out of the cheeks, right behind the head. And they're very interesting cut because they have a little more oil, which gives them more flavor, but at the same time, they're firm enough where they don't fall apart on you when you cook them. So we go from our marinade. We're going to put them in a little flour, season, salt and pepper, real basic. All right, back in the marinade. And then into the final process, final part of the breading, which I use a real fine flaked breadcrumb. coconut, a little bit of turmeric, salt and pepper, and just a touch of cinnamon.
The cheeks are sautéed in hot oil.
Okay? You don't want to move them around too much once you put them in, because you're just going to knock the breading off. You want to let it have time to set the breading on each side of the fish before you start moving it around.
Sauté about 45 seconds aside.
Once we get a golden brown, that's when we flip them over.
Presentation begins with mashed sweet potatoes, then the Chow Chow.
Then we'll lay the cheeks right on top of that. Okay. Then we'll add our vegetable slinkies.
These are shredded beets.
And we have a chili oil, a curry oil, and molasses. Garnish with a little pickled okra and a Scotch bonnet. There you have it.